Anchor is the best way to make a podcast. This is Josephine Electric, the lead singer of Family Electric Ghost. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record your podcast so it sounds great. So distribute your podcast so you can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, you should go right now and download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. This again is Josephine Electric, and Anchor FM is the best way to do your podcast. Hope you join us out there in the podcast blogosphere, and we look forward to listening to your cool tunes and tones. This is Josephine Electric from Phantom Electric Ghost, and we're going to talk about our latest track, Dog Me Deep in Repeat. Now, the Phantom has decided to do more profitable things on his channel, like interviewing foodies and actors and musicians, and some of my risky adventures may prevent folks from wanting to be on the channel. So we decided we're going to pair off and dive into the song discussions on this channel. Except when we have a song that's less of a issue with our paying audience. So we've been using Perlu.com to do booking. We're able to get a foodie. We're able to get some people who are doing influencer type stuff, YouTuber types, and Instagram types, who are not just musicians. And when that audience, if I say Dog Me Deep in Repeat, I don't know if that's going to really appeal to them. So we're going to sex it up on this channel with my sexual misadventures. So Dog Me Deep in Repeat is I'm on Beat Street, beep, beep, come and dog me deep in repeat. And it's basically, I'm in my micro mini, and somebody in a mini comes up and says, Josie, get in the back. And I'm like, that's too small a hat for me to get in the back. You come over here and get my smack. and that's kind of how we roll in Beat Town. Beep, beep. So we wrote the song with our favorite analog synth, the Moog Mother 32. I am the Moog D-Fam drummer from another mother. We had the mother on top of the D-Fam, which is a nice type of sonic scene. They make pretty music together. But you're always going to make good music if you're on top of each other. And then we got the grandmother in the D-Fam and Mother 32 on top of the grandmother, which might be a little risque, but that's the way we like to play. So the whole beat started on D-Fam. We used LFO from the Mother 32, low frequency oscillator, to drive a little variation in the beat on D-Fam. Now the D-Fam is not like any other drum machine you ever dealt with. It doesn't have pads, doesn't have samples. It's all analog, 2 oscillators, some FM synthesis, and a patch bay. There's no MIDI. You can connect it through CV to other modular gear. So in this example, we connected the LFO from the mother to vary the beat. Now the DFAM is very limiting, and it only has 8 steps of pitch and velocity, little knobs that you twist and turn. And I know some people like it when I twist their knob, and DFAM likes it a lot. But what's cool about that is with the patch bay, you can do additional things. We've actually even extended functionality of the DFAM by having the grandmother sequencer run it, which then opens it up to more than 256 steps. And then you can do some interesting things with sample and hold circuits with random voltage to make it even more varied. And that makes varied music varied, beautiful analog beats, and there's nothing like it. There's nothing like a DFAM beat, kind of shake the walls, shake the dolls and the darlings down on Beat Street. So Dog Me Deep and Repeat is that story of me and my micro mini on the street, pulling that guy out of his mini and making him do the freak. um, and like I said, it's just an experience to feel that. The other thing we are interested in is we heard a bunch of news in the last couple of days about something that we're really interested in. There's all this new retro vintage stuff coming out. Now we're a big fan of it because we got the mother, we got the grandmother, but Prophet came on the scene, and now they brought back the Rev, well not the Rev, they brought back Prophet 5, which is the holy grail of poly analog synths. It's right up there with the Jupiter 8 and the Juno 106. Thing about, the Jupiter kind of eclipsed it with the 8 voice, but the Prophet 5, even though it had 5 voices, was used like all the new wave and new romantic bands. And you would say, well, why would I go and pay almost $3,500 for a machine that doesn't have a sequencer, only has like one LFO, only has a low frequency oscillator, a low pass filter, no high pass filter. If you look at the Prophet 6, it has VCOs. So why wouldn't, and it has a sequencer. So why wouldn't you go with that? Well, it's because the Prophet 5 oscillators are kind of like Moog classic oscillators. Different Moogs sound differently. A mini Moog doesn't sound like a sub fatty, doesn't sound like like um like my mother, doesn't sound like a Moog one. Every Moog has a character. It's like every prophet has a character. And so the prophet has this, it's probably considered one of the first true polyphonic analog synths. And there's something about the way that it builds paths and the way that it can do funk. And there's nothing really else like it. And now to have a more stable version, and the cool thing about this thing, it has a vintage button or no dial. It lets you do Rev 1, which was somewhat unstable because it was built in the garage. But some people like that instability. I like that. Rev 2, Rev 3, and Rev 4. And the Rev 4 is the most stable. It's the most modern version of it. That's the one you can take on the road, and you got to do that pad exactly right, or you're not going to get paid for that night. That's the one you use. But when you want to get risque in the dirty electronic Josephine funk in the trunk, and I know you want that junk, then you maybe go for one, because you really want to do it on the one, because you don't want to do it any other way. If you want to get with a girl like me, you better do it all the way. So we can understand why someone would want to pay that much money for a machine with limitations. Because in today's world, you get a Rev 2 for like less than 2,000, closer to 1,500, 8 voices, sequencer, tons of LFOs, tons of modulation, but it's DCO, not VCO. It's a digital controlled oscillator, not a voltage controlled oscillator. And there are analog purists that are like, hell no, no DCO, hell no. And then there's people like, gotta have a VCO. And then there's people who say, well, I don't even need that. I'll get a soft synth that's doing fake DCOs. And I'm not into fake DCOs. That's like having a fake, well, I'm not into that. I want the real. I want the real. So, yeah, I can understand. I've got a grandmother. I've got a mother 32 and I have an Arteria Mini Pro 2S and my other mode, DFAM. So having real BCOs, there's something to be said for that. I get it. So when I look at everything we need in our stable of stuff, we got some things going along in the truth. The problem what we have in our studio is our primary kind of multifunctional polyphonic synth is a Juno GI from 2008. Is how we do our pianos, our guitars, all that stuff. It's PCM, sounds good. We've been able to record with it. We've gotten record contracts with it. It still works. Anything with anything, it's kind of the musician behind it. And the Phantom, he kicks ass. So, we can keep on using it forever. But going forward, working with people, doing gigs online, we're kind of looking at the Phantom. Not just because we're Phantom Electric Ghost, but because the Phantom is a workstation, and we always liked the original Phantoms even more than the Chronos. And in our situation right now, being able to have RD piano, being able to have that workflow, we love hardware workflow. We like working hard, you know, at the board, and it's exactly the way we like to record. And so to replace the Juno, the Phantom seems kind of like that's what we need to do. And since we have the grandmother, and we have the mother, and we have the DFAM and an Arturia, we don't really need an analog type of sound, except for we don't have an analog polyphonic. And so we'd love that. But in terms of we're songwriters, and you need the piano, you need the pads. Not that a Prophet 5 couldn't give you a lot of pads, but it's really probably the piano that's kind of pushing us toward um, getting the rolling because of the RD piano. And we love using piano in our songs when we want to convey emotion. And we know pads convey emotion, but there's nothing like a piano. It's kind of like an acoustic guitar. And a lot of what we do in the Ghost is piano-based songs that convey a lot of emotion. And so having that capability of the RD piano is a big deal for us. And an ability to be in CV, have an analog filter. So, we're not pushing anything for anybody, but we're looking at what we need to do. And Prophet 5 is probably something 2021, 2022. And we don't know what's going on after that. So, and the cool thing is there's a 10 voice version. So that kind of gives you, ability to have no voice stealing. And some people could look at that and say, that's a better deal maybe than the Moog 1. But Moog 1's a whole different thing. I mean, it's like three big polyphonic synths on top of each other with all the stability issues and issues. I don't know if you could ever bring that thing on the road. It's more of a studio machine. So if you're thinking about, I want a polyphonic synth, I want to bring on the road, I want to have stability and power and that sound from the new wave era, the new romantic era, Prophet 5 or a 10, Prophet 10. What we would be into is get a Prophet 5 and hope they do a card like the Rev 2. We can buy a card and upgrade to a 10. We put a question into Sweetwater to find out, are they going to make it? So you can buy a card and you can get a Prophet 5 and then upgrade it to a 10 voice. And that'd probably be what way we would do it. So, if everybody listens to us and really digs what we're doing, maybe we can get both. But for what we're trying to do, and we've got some deals going down where we're going to be able to do some online concerts, and we get some cash, cash money from my honeys. We can get that cash money. We get both. And we get both, and we'd be like, that'd be so dope. I mean, it'd be doper than my Micro Mini on Beat Street with the freaks of the week. So we hope that you like what we do here. Like we said before, we like to get a little more freaky on this channel so that Phantom can do his business deals on the other channel with his influence peddling. But I hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you later. Keep on supporting Phantom. You can find us. If you type in Josephine Electric, you'll find us. We have some songs that we did by ourselves, but you'll find us everywhere. And we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, so check us out. And we hope that you keep on dogging it like I know you will. This is Josephine Electric signing off for Phantom Electric Ghost. This is Josephine Electric. Voting isn't just going to the polls on election day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, breaks down the options in your state for offers casting a ballot.
empowering you to decide where and when to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, takes the guesswork out of voting process. How to Vote is easy to use and helps folks from all over the country overcome many of the processes and barriers to voting. Democracy Works is committed to helping you vote no matter what. So you should sign up for election reminders, see what's on your ballot, get step-by-step assistance requesting your mail-in ballot, explore options for returning your voted mail ballot, check your voter registration status, find out where your polling site is, and make sure you have the appropriate ID. Decide where and when you want to vote this year at How to Vote. Thank you.
Beep, beep, it's the street. Beep, beep, girl like a girl, we got the names. Beep, beep, it's the street. Don't you mind, penetrate me deep. Beep, beep, this is the street. Beep, beep, your eyes penetrating me. Beep, beep, this is the street. Don't you know yours is the calling you need? Beep, beep, this is the street. Beep, beep, make it like a girl, we got the needs. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Your eyes more than penetrate me. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, I give a girl what she needs. Beep, beep, your eyes penetrate more than me. Beep, beep, you make it like a girl, we got the need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. You make it like a girl, we got the need. Your eyes more than penetrate me. No, you make girl, we got the need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. I'm a freak, the kind that you need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. No, the kind of freak that you need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, I'm the kind of freak that you need. Beep, beep, your eyes more penetrate me. Beep, beep, you bring me all the way deep. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, your eyes more penetrate me. Beep, beep, I'm the kind of freak. Beep, beep, like we got the name. Okay, girl that you need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, your eyes more penetrate me. Beep, beep, if you could come on drink. Beep, beep, you can try me out for free. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, I'll be free, gonna win. Beep, beep, you can try to me out for free. Beep, beep, your eyes more than penetrate me. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, I'm the kind of dog you need. Beep, beep, and this is the street. Beep, beep, you can try me out for free. I'm the kind of dog you need. Your eyes more than penetrate me. Beep, beep, it's dusty.